She's really testing my equilibrium right now. And I know that corn dog I ate earlier in the 5 p.m. show, yeah, that's gonna come up later on. So let's put these windows to test, throw some at them. All right, step 1, remain calm. Step 2, swim parallel to shore. Trees start coming down, tree branches are flying around, street signs are flying around, all these things projectiles, capable of shattering the windows and damaging. Sunset that broke the camera or my ugly face that broke the camera, we'll figure that out. But we finished Brian's over there on the desk and it was my face. It smells like a fresh ocean breeze. Anyone help me out? Anyone? Anyone? No, Lindsay's the only other person in the studio. She's laughing at me. Yes, it's just gonna sit, eat the energy around, and then eventually fizzle out, and that likely will be around that 7:15, 7:30 time.
Holy bananas, it's cold out here.
Holy bananas, that's the new phrase. Holy bananas. This guy was here last year. Do you remember me last year?
Yeah.
So what's that agenda, Let?
Today, cook and drink. Tomorrow, cook and drink. Cook and drink.
That's it.
And next day, cook and drink.
We definitely need the extra kick in the head, so we have the espresso going. It is Sinatra Sunday. We got Frank Sinatra playing throughout the studio. Some of his Christmas stuff as well. So
it goes
Jeff,
well with the espresso.
It goes well, right? Salud.
I'll switch from a garlic alioli watch to now a garlic alioli warning. When you get a fresh plate of pasta thrown in front of you, you eat it. Weather warning, you take action. You gotta evacuate, you evacuate. If you gotta get to shelter, you get shelter.
Almost gray and green are the ones coming in the opposite direction. So that is a good indication, there we go, of some of the rotation we are seeing.
Sit out, deadlift Steve. Let's get in position. Come on. There we go.
What do you think? Can you hear that?
What am I doing out here? I need to be back in there. It sounds fantastic. Is that Frank?
Of course it's Frank. It's
if you have to.
The only thing that's kind of separating itself from it being a straight wind gust is the sense that it has just that quick little rotation to it. Think of it as weather being your mood and climate being your personality. Your mood changes all the time. Maybe you're frustrated after the Seminoles lost, but you hear your favorite song on the radio and you cheer right back up. So you get these kind of moods, just like your body has mood swings. On a day-to-day basis, we have mood swings in the weather. This on. Weekend forecast in 3, 2, 1. A round of Find That Cloud. So, okay. Monica Garcia, are you ready to find that cloud? One, want to be right, and two, we're not wrong all the time. You know, and meteorology is not easy. Hey, if you find a better way to solve nonlinear differential equations in a constantly moving 3D chaotic fluid, give me a call. No one is happy with the weather this spring. This is BS. What's with the temperature swing? And then my Snapchat blows up from my cousin Nina talking about how cold it is up north. Most of you looking like my grandfather Tony does after he takes a shot of grappa.
Papa Tony and something about grappa. What is grappa?
Don't worry about it. Job. She's gonna take my job.
Leonard Skinner all have ties to the river. Oh my goodness.
Editing some video and I was just getting a bunch of phone calls. Phone is going off, phone is going off, phone is going off. And it's my parents, my dad, my parents are calling me and I'm saying, oh my gosh, what's going on? You know, because a couple days ago I said, hey, be careful on your way home from work, you know what I mean? And I just listened to the voicemail from my father. Take a look.
1 to 3 inches, my it's been snowing for 3 hours and there's 4.5 inches on the ground already.
For some reason, I thought it was going to be chilly this weekend. I think we'll see temperatures in the low 60s. Even, I almost said chillier. I can't believe I almost just refreshing.
What is your definition of chilly? Because I'm looking at 91,
I'm looking
80.
At shot. Look good, Mike? Yeah, it looks good, right? We came into work this morning, and what did our boss say?
He said it sounded like a truck hit his home.
Thunder. He said thunder woke him up. And thunder basically is just the sound of like
50,000 degrees, 5 times hotter than the sun. Something's got to give. And give the ball back. Awesome stuff.
Lou, while we're on the topic of golf, did I ever tell you the story of when Carson Daly called me bro at the Pebble Beach Pro-Am in 2016?
No, you've never told me that.
I'll tell you that story at break.
Can't wait.
It's a good one.
I'm good, bro. I got one of those.
All right, let's get back to weather. Today, we did find Tim Tebow, and honestly, it's making a little bit of the Florida fans behind me here jealous. Eileen, what would you do, given the chance, if you met Tim Tebow?
I would grope him.
All right, well, there you have it. Florida does love themselves some Tebow. Back to you guys. has got their eyes on now is Hurricane Florence, the Category 2 storm, and there's a lot of uncertainty when it comes to forecasting hurricanes because we want to know where these things are going to go 10 to 12 to 15 days out, but forecasting that far out is so difficult. And when you look at computer models and you look at their outputs, they're kind of like equations, and what they're doing is they're taking current data and current information from Hurricane Florence, they're putting them into an equation, and they're spitting out an output. Now, the storm is changing every second, every minute, every hour in the atmosphere. That's how weather works, so that equation is always going to be changing, and we're going to notice that output is always going to be changing. So beyond the 5 days here, Tuesday, is where that uncertainty comes in. But I think as we approach this weekend, we're going to have a little bit more of an answer of where this thing is actually going to end up. And it really all depends on where a high pressure from Canada is going to set up. If this thing is pretty strong, it's going to block the storm from turning up to the north and maybe send it a little bit closer towards the east coast. If that high pressure is a little bit weaker, that turn's going to be a little bit tighter. But either way, up and down the east coast, we got our eyes on the storm, and up and down the east coast, there's going to be plenty of surf, rough seas, and some strong rip currents. Behind Florence, there's even a couple more waves of energy to talk about. Nothing to be concerned about over the next week or so, but we're going to see some development out of this wave of energy in the next day or so, so there's going to still be plenty to talk about as we head through the next couple of weeks. The remnants of Gordon, I should actually say Tropical Depression Gordon, bringing some of that rain up to portions of Mississippi. Now at home, we've got the sea breeze going today, and it's bringing just a couple spotty showers onshore. They're going to work towards the west through the afternoon, so expect a couple of them to bubble up from, say, Highway 301 towards the west. And we think we keep that trend through the next day and a half and into the weekend. So we're going to see skies and conditions like this tomorrow out at Jack's Beach and into the weekend where it's a beautiful look. Surfers have been enjoying that persistent onshore breeze. It's been kicking up some of the surf. We're going to see that on the increase too this weekend and much of next week with the tropics bubbling up in the Atlantic. Temperatures now in the 80s. It's a nice day out there, aside from just the spottier showers. I mentioned we keep the onshore breeze at least through the day tomorrow and into Saturday, so it's keeping some scattered showers widely scattered in nature for our Friday. Not expecting a whole lot. I'm going with about 30% coverage of some precipitation. Those likely to be from about lunchtime or so into the afternoon from, say, Highway 95, a little bit towards the west, off towards the west, working with the breeze. And then into the weekend, we keep a couple thunderstorms around for us on Saturday, but I think we see a little bit more drier conditions on Sunday. We're just going to notice the rip currents on the increase. Difficult to convey a storm's impact. I'm going to be honest with you. It is by solely using the Saffir-Simpson scale, the one that's based on the category size, whether it's category 1, 2, 3, major hurricane, 4, 5. That's based solely on damaging wind. It does not include the flooding, the storm surge, the rain like we're seeing in the images coming down from the Carolinas. Look at this tweet I saw on social media earlier. I'm going to be honest, it kind of bugged me a little bit. Someone had evacuated the Carolinas only to turn around and go home once the storm went from a Category 3 to a Category 2. Now, to know that someone is disregarding a life-threatening event because of a simple title, a simple category, I'm going to be honest again, it's a bit frustrating. That's kind of the challenge many meteorologists and forecasters are facing now, is how do we convey the impacts that more often than not get overshadowed by a number? We got to look beyond that. We always say don't judge a book by its cover. You can't really judge a storm by a number. Every system and every situation is different. We'll migrate up into the Gulf of Mexico by the end of the weekend, where there is likely going to be some development. Now, the direct major impacts from whatever may develop into the Gulf of Mexico going to be well to our west. So I think maybe from the Panhandle of Florida to the Gulf coasts of Mississippi and Alabama, closely monitor this forecast. Now, that doesn't mean we're completely out of the clear, because all weather is connected one way or the other up in the atmosphere. So we are going to see some impacts locally. It's just going to be that persistent onshore breeze throughout the week ahead. So from Monday into Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, we're going to see these showers just coming onshore, heavy at times, and we're going to watch the excessive tides too as well with that persistent onshore breeze. So maybe just an additional high tide of 1 to 2 feet. So just keep that in mind next week, and then by next weekend we could watch for maybe some additional thunderstorms which could go severe, but that's still 7-10 days out, so just keep checking back with the forecast and the updates. Elsewhere in the Atlantic, there is Leslie, which has just been churning out here with some strong winds, and it's going to stay out to sea, so nothing for us to be too concerned about, but it is sending a powerful and thick swell our way, so the surf is way up, and there are some strong rip currents at the beach. So if you're headed to the coast this weekend, because the weather will be nice, just keep that in mind. It's a bit rough out there. Now, I would show you the live cam, but I think I didn't prep my graphics well enough, and it is not the live cam. It looked like a screenshot. Me and Lindsay's laughing over there. Either way, it is beautiful out there today for our Friday because high pressure is in control. We have that fresh ocean breeze. It feels nice out there. Temperature is going to be in the 80s throughout the afternoon. They'll climb to the upper 80s. They'll top out right around 90 degrees. So under the sunshine, it may feel like 90 to 95. But hey, into the weekend, that's the idea. It looks beautiful. Temperatures in the upper 80s, plenty of sun. Now on Sunday, we could have a couple additional showers or thunderstorms with the sea breeze. Not looking like a whole lot of them, so keep the outdoor plans for our Saturday and Sunday. Looks pretty good. Plenty of events and festivities going on. The DATIL Pepper Festival, I think I pronounced that correctly. DATIL, there we go. She shouted out me again. DATIL. Temperatures in the 80s. Maybe a shower around on Sunday at the St. Johns County Agricultural Center. And this is my favorite event. These are my people. The FESTA Italiana, the Italian-American Club. They're making lasagna, chicken parmesan, meatballs, spaghetti. They got Zeppelis out here. It's all in support of the Buddy Bus. So go out there and show your support, have a good time, eat some delicious food. That's on Saturday and Sunday. Weather looks nice. Also supporting the Buddy Bus, Lindsay on Facebook. I'm going to point to her over there. You can't see her, but on Facebook, Anthony Austin and myself included, we've been doing the Burpees for Boobies, hashtag Burpees for Boobies challenge going on. Check it out. It's pretty cool. It's all in our